Hi sweeties, Gamva. If you don't already know by now, gonna be talking about welcome back to our channel. Happy New Year! It's 2025. Oh, I feel old. And I'm not just saying that because my birthday is coming up, but I feel old. But as you've seen by either the thumbnail or the title of this video, we are doing 25 books that I want to read in 2025. Now, going through all of this, cutting it down to 25 was freaking hard, especially trying to figure out, okay, find which books that I really want to read that are coming out this year and which books of last year that I wanted to read that I could not read. So I added them to the 25 list, but the list kind of went to 50 and I had to like cut it down because I'm like, it's 2025 now, 2050. So we had to cut it down to 25, but the rest I just decided are gonna be on my probably like TBR for the month or something. I don't know. That's if I even remember them, because my TBR goes each and every freaking day. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, let's start the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have anything to say. Remember, constructive criticism. I repeat, constructive criticism. Let's start. Okay, so like I said, we're doing 25 books that I want to do for 2025. I think we should start off with the series because those ones are more of, I just realized that since it's a series, I'm adding more books, and because of that, it's going to be more than 25 books. And I can't actually count a series as one, but we're counting it as one. Yeah, like there's nothing else we can do because now I've already plastered it everywhere and be like, okay, fine, these are my 25 books that I want to read for 2025, and we're gonna do them. Well, we're gonna try and do them. So I just wanna go to the list real quick and see. Okay, should I just go in order or like some of these books? Yeah, let me just if I get to a series, I get to if I don't okay, I'm just gonna go in the order in which I wrote them. Some of these books I have as physical copies, others I don't, but do understand that I will be getting them as physical copies. Like I just need to have them. That's why they're on the freaking list in the first place. I need to get them as physical copies, which I will. No matter how long it takes me, I will get them as physical copies. So the first book on the list, wait, I just need to pull these towards me because they're kind of a stack. The first book on the list is The Sweetest Oblivion. I was about to say The Sweetest Obsession. The Sweetest Oblivion by Daniela Laurie. This is the first book in the Maid series. Now, it's part of a series. Give me a minute. How many books are in the Maid series? Okay, there are 3 books. I don't need you to talk. There are 3 books, so we can do that. So this is a dark romance book. I remember people saying if you want to get into dark romance books, you should try this book. I've already gotten into dark romance book. I jumped head first into dark romance book, and we're not going to talk about which book I started with. Actually, we're going to have to because I think it's part of the pile of 25 books I want to read in 2025. But the reason I want to start this book is because, what is the reason relevant? Because I did not read the back of this book. I don't know. They said one creator said this was her best read of 2024, and I just need to know why. Like I honestly need to know. You know when it's about a book that you don't know and they say like it's a genre that you love, but it's a book like you do not know and a lot of people know it. So now you're like, okay, fine, I need to understand the hype. I need to get the gist of what is going on and why people adore this book. So I have the first book and it's so pretty. Like I said before, the size in a book, adore it. Like usually books are the size that I'm looking for. Like usually books are like the size. This is like a larger paperback, which I love. So yeah, this is our first book, The Sweetest Oblivion. Okay, let's go to the second book. The second book is okay. I can't believe we're here so fast, but Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. I know it's shocking that I have not read the Cat and Mouse series. I actually have read the first book, Haunting Adeline, and I'm not ashamed, I'm actually proud to say that was my first ever dark romance book. Not advising you to start there. Please don't do that. Don't traumatize yourself like that. Like, I was not traumatized. I loved it. That starts my dark romance journey. But for you, do not do that. There's a special video that I made for you guys that wanted to get into dark romance book. You can go check it out. But do not recommend you start here. This is the second book in the Cat and Mouse series, Haunting Adeline. It carries right after Haunting Adeline. And I'm actually thinking of just rereading Haunting Adeline and then carrying on with Haunting Adeline from there. Yeah, because I need to finish the series. Like, I don't know, ever since reading, like, I read a big book last year and I don't mind big books anymore. Like, I don't. I think the thing that scares me the most is the font, and this font is actually pretty cute. And can we talk about this? I love this so much. And I think it's the grandmother's letters, or what are these? No, grandmother's letters is in the first book. Oh my god, this is gorgeous. Look at this. Like, look at this. Oh yeah, so I will be doing a reread of Haunting Adeline and also carrying on straight after that with Haunting Adeline. I told y'all this year we are finishing series. Like, honestly, if I start a series, I'm reading the entire series so I finish it. No books in between or whatever, because there's no way that I have so many unfinished series and then I'm like, I don't know what to read anymore. Nah, we need to finish a series once we started. Okay, on the topic of the Cat and Mouse series, the third book I want to read is Where's Molly. Now, Where's Molly is an interconnected series to Haunting Adeline. Molly is the girl that escaped the scene that was happening in Haunting Adeline, and so she gets her own book. Don't know anything about Molly. Don't even know don't even know what Where's Molly is about. But because it follows right after the Cat and Mouse duet, have to add it to the list. And the fourth book, because we're still talking about the Cat and Mouse series, can you tell I'm obsessed with the Cat and Mouse series? Yeah, the fourth book I'm adding to the list is, what is it called again? Phantom by H.D. Carlton. Now, Phantom is coming out this year. I don't specifically know the date, but it follows the grandmother in Haunting Adeline. Remember Haunting Adeline? Like, she used to get Adeline used to read her grandmother's either diary or something, letters or something. I think it's a diary, I can't remember correctly, but Phantom is the grandmother's book, so we finally get to know what happens to the grandmother. Kelly spoiled it for me and Husna because she told us what happened to the grandmother, and she said, like, it was in the book. I'm like, I read Haunting Adeline. I don't remember them telling us what happened to the grandmother. It was assumed like someone did it. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but yeah. And then she was like, no, you gotta read the book again. I'm like, yes, I'll read the book again. And Husna was like so mad because she hasn't even started reading the book. And we were just shocked. But yeah, let's carry on. The next book I want to read is, where is that? The Darkness Between Us. Now, this is a fantasy book, and it actually is the second book in the series. Now, if you were watching my book, if you were watching my TikTok, you'd know how much I adored The Shadows Between Us. It was giving a badass. She was giving badass. She was in control, and the first line of this book had me cackling. Now, the first line of The Darkness Between Us also had me feeling like, okay, but I need that book right now. I'm even shocked that I did not get the second book right after reading the first book. Like, I'm shocked. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should have ordered that book already. Now, I think the opening line for this one is more on the lines of, my husband is taking a while to die. Girl, what? I'm like, that's the vibe I'm needing for 2025. That's what I want to hear, and that's the book I definitely want to add to my list. The next book we're adding to the list is the third book in the Devil's Night series, which is called Kill Switch. Now, I read the first book, which is Corrupt, hated the second book, Hideaway. Said a lot of people were like, story follows Damon and Whitney. When I tell you, I don't know anything about the story. but that's how I am in terms of dark romance books. I don't read the blurb and I want to go in surprised and shocked. One thing I can tell you is that this entire series introduced me to masked men. Now, I don't know how I feel about masked men after reading this, but yeah, it introduced me to masked men. So let's continue. The next book I want to read is Phantasma, which is coming out on Jan 14th. Isn't Phantasma already out by now? I don't know. It's the red cover, right? The one with the skull on it, I believe. That is a dark fantasy romance. I think, I don't know, I'm not sure. Hopefully it is. But I might be spewing nonsense. But from what I am imagining, it is a dark fantasy romance. It is a dark, spicy fantasy romance. That is very important to add, because I read a lot of fantasy books, but not a lot of fantasy spicy books. So I really want to get into my spicy fantasy genre, because fantasy is good, but then if it does not have spice, not even spice, if it does not have yearning, thirst, thrill, I don't want it. Like, it's just boring for me. So hopefully Phantasma does it for me and introduces me to that world, because the only book I've actually read where it's a dark fantasy romance is Her Soul to Take, and that book was fantastic, top tier book. Yeah. Okay, the next book I want to read for 2025, it's only because I was influenced by Husna. She cannot shut up about this book. She literally read this book. Oh, she listened to the audiobook, literally got the physical copy, and is planning a reread of this book. The book in question is Quicksilver. Now, I don't know anything about it, but I saw this book at the bookstore when I was with Kelly, and the cover is gorgeous. It's currently $440, so I'm gonna wait for it to get under 300. No, not under 300, under 400 to be 3 something, and then from there I'll consider getting the physical copy. Nothing beforehand, because I think now it's just the thing of it's still brand new and people are still like talking about it, so that's why it's still pretty expensive. Once it dials down and people just hush about it, maybe the price will be better. Other than that, that is the only reason why I want to read this book, because I think it was one of her top reads of 2024. So I need to understand what my girl's taste is like, even though like we have the same taste in books. I think one thing that made me like, okay fine, I want to add this book is because we have similar tastes in books, especially like when she sends me videos on TikTok, and the types of books she reads most of the book are usually the books I read already or were planning to read. So I was like, you know what, because of that, because I see you got taste, I'll add it to my thingy. I'll add it to my list. Now, the next book I want to read is From Blood and Ashes. Now, when I tell you, this I think was the first ever fantasy book that I've ever wanted to read, and I saw it as I saw it at exclusive books, but the price was wow. I think it was 600 and something. And I was like, you know what? This just needs me to calm down, and then I'll see it later on. Plus, at that time, I just wanted it because of the title. I didn't know it was a fantasy romance. I didn't know what genre it was. Nothing about that book. I just wanted it because of the name. But now that I've actually done more research about it, and I actually haven't done any research about it, I think I'm at a point where I want to jump into fantasy, spicy fantasy. Hopefully it's spicy, because if not, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm thinking it's time. Like, it's time, boy. Like, explore. Get out of your comfort zone, you know? Yeah. I don't know, it's book number 1 now. We're on book number 1. I don't know. The next book I want to read, it's also a fantasy book. I feel like y'all are gonna get sick of me in fantasy book. The Serpent and Wings of Night. Now, I don't know anything about this book. I just know I want a giveaway of the novella, which is like I think the 3rd book, and I was like, okay, since I want a giveaway, that means I have to like at least try out the books, because it must have been a sign. Out of so many people I won, maybe it was the universe telling me that I need to start this book series. I need to get into it, because I know it's like 4 books, the 3rd book being the novella. Hopefully there are no books after that. Wait, let's go back to Blood and Ashes real quick. How many books are in that series? How many books are in the Blood and Ash series? 6 books. Okay, it's 6. I was about to say it's not that bad, but now I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, why is it saying 6, but it's showing me 9 books? There are 9 books in that series. Why would you do that? I'm shocked. I'm in disbelief. 9 books. I thought we were gonna go at 6. 6 was like, okay, fine. 9 is, oh my god. Oh Lord. Let's just move on. Yeah, The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I don't know anything about this book. Serpent is giving snake, wings it's giving either dragons, fairies, or something. Where am I literally taking the title into consideration? Because it might not even be about snakes. Is it about vampires? I hope it's about vampires, because I've read a lot of werewolf books. I think it's time that I went into my vampire era, even though I don't like vampires. Perfect example, Twilight. Yeah, I'm a werewolf girly through and through. So what is the vampire's name again? Edward. I don't remember. Yeah, he did not do it for me, and he was shiny. I don't like shiny things, especially men. Don't like men in general. Okay, we're not there. We're gonna continue. The next book is Noclicadia. Now I don't know what that book is about. I don't even know what that book is. I think it's coming out this year. I need to first figure out who it's by. Or is it already out? Oh, it's already out. It's a dark academia gothic romance. Ooh. Okay, gothic romance. I've never read a gothic romance, and the cover. There's just something about a dark romance book that has like a skull on it. Okay, it's not a dark romance book, but it's giving dark romance. And a lot of people, I've heard only good things about this book. So I think because it was talked about so much that it kind of got stuck in my brain, and I was like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. Let me give it a try. Like, I won't lose anything, so I might as well just jump for it. The next book we're talking about, a Kate Stewart book. Now, if you know me, you know the Ravenhood trilogy is my Roman Empire. Those are my books. Now, came out a new series called One Last Rainy Day. I don't remember the name of that series, but the first book was One Last Rainy Day, and it was about my book boyfriend, Dominic Jane King, right? So now she decided to come up with new books, and she actually posted an update yesterday. I checked. So now the books I want to read, I think they're coming out this year. We're just not given the date yet. Now, the 2 books from the new series that I want to read are Birds of a Feather and also Severed Hearts. Now, one I definitely know is about, I forgot his name, but it starts with a T. Tyler, something, I don't know. So I'm thinking it's his story with that woman he was involved with, and I don't mind if it's just his POV, like, because he suffered a lot, even though she also suffered, of course, but then I don't want to hear anything from her. She pissed me off. So I'm not going to say anything, because then I'd be spoiling the Ravenhood trilogy for you guys. But go read those books. Like, go read those masterpieces. It's either you love it or you hate it. There's no in between with those books. I'm telling you, people either love it or hate it from the first book. But yeah, the next book we're going to talk about is Babel. That's my first ever dark academia book that I've been like willing to read, that I've been wanting, you know, like each time you see it, you're like, oh my god, I want that book. And I don't even have a physical copy. I don't even know when I'm gonna get it, because that book is, 1, gorgeous. 2, I think it's just one of those books that either inspire you to change, or realize that the world that you're living in is very how do I say this without offending people? It's not as black and white. It's not as black and white as you believe. Like, there's more to it, and you get to realize from others' perspective how the world kind of benefits one side and the rest is like trash. So yeah, take that into consideration in reading that book. You know, have an open mind to reading that book. It kind of educates you a lot on, like, I know it's just like a fictional book, but going into reality, you'll understand, especially from, okay, well, let's just leave it. Go read that book. before I start being political and adding things that I should not add. But yeah, the next book I want to read is June 1st by Jennifer Hartman. Now, me and Kelly are on this Jennifer Hartman train and we are not stepping off. What that means is we are obsessed with Jennifer Hartman books, and not in the sense of we just trying to get through her or whatever. Nah, we love her books together, meaning that we love reading them together. I have yet to find a 5-star read of hers. Kelly has been giving her 5 stars like it's candy, like water when you open a tab and water just gushes out. Kelly has been giving 5-star reads, and we've only read 2 books actually. We've read Still Beating and Lotus. She's given both infinity amount of stars, and I've been on the 3.5 to 4-star rating. But people are like, June 1st, you are going to adore it. And if I don't actually like June 1st, this is where the next book I want to read comes into play, which is also by Jennifer Hartman. It is called Catch the Sun. Now, people are like, if I don't give June 1st a 5-star read, this right here will be my 5-star read. Now, because it is a Jennifer Hartman book and I have a physical copy, and I was like, you know what, I'm adding it to my 25 for 2025 because girl, I know that I want to read this book. Like I said again, the size does not scare me, but why is the font so freaking tiny? Why is the font so tiny? Guess we'll talk. I'll see that whenever. But yeah, June 1st and Catch the Sun by Jennifer Hartman, part of my 2025 books, part of the books I want to read in 2025. Yes. Now, the next book I want to read is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I know there's a reading order, but it's not like a must. Like, we are not forced or obligated to follow the reading order. And the one book I badly want to read from her is Just for the Summer. I don't know what it's about. I don't even know the blurb. I don't even know the characters' names. I want to read that book because I've seen so many people crying, and I said to myself, that is my book. That has to be my book. Just because of the tears people have shed, I was like, ah, give it to me. So I'm adding it. And then the next book we have is Archer's Voice. Now, with this one, I will be doing a buddy read with both Husna and Kelly. This is because I think we both, all of us were like, collectively, we need a good cry together. Like, we need a book that's gonna make sure that we are all sobbing together. I'm not even sure if we're gonna cry together, like at the same time or whatever, but hopefully certain points in this book will make us cry and we can bond over crying, because we've never actually cried together. I've cried with Kelly. No, I have not. I have not. She's cried over Lotus and I was like, it's sad. Like, there were certain parts that were sad, but not like I want to cry type of sad. So hopefully Archer's Voice kind of gets us to that point of bonding over crying, because that's a special type of bond. And then we're followed by, I actually have this as a physical copy. Wait, here it is. Funny Story by Emily Henry. Now, a lot of people said this is the book. Like, I enjoyed Happy Place. I did not, like, I liked Beach Read, but it was not as good as Happy Place. So I'm looking for a Emily Henry book that's like close to Happy Place or even exceeds Happy Place. And they say that her next book, Funny Story, is it. So I cannot wait to dive straight into this book. Might actually add it to my monthly TBR for this month, because I've been walking around with this book for the longer, okay, not the longest time. I bought it like in December. So I got it like December. So yeah, I heard tears, unmistakable feelings, unmistakable attachment will be part of my experience while reading this book. And I was like, don't convince me even more. Like, you've done enough. We're good. I will read the freaking book. Plus, it's 2 exes that are like bonding over the fact that their exes are now together. They broke up with them. And I'm like, and it's fake dating. They had me at fake. They could have just said fake dating and left out anything else, and I would have been like, sold. Give me the book right now. Because honestly, fake dating is my type of trope. I adore it. So we're adding Funny Story. The next book is The Torment Duet. Now, this book has made everyone sob. Even though I don't understand why it's called The Torment Duet, because it's like 5 books in the series, but I'm only gonna read those 2 books. The first one is called The Torment Book 1. The second one is called The Torment Book 2. Those are the only books that I'm planning on reading for the 2025 books that I want to read in 25 books I want to read for 2025. Other than that, the other books I'll probably read if like the first 2 just were so gut-wrenching, was so good that I want to continue with the series. Because if they're not good, why would I continue the rest of the series when it's like 5 books? So we'll see. But everyone has been crying over this book. These 2 books have made everyone sob, and I'm thinking, and it's a dark romance book. A dark romance book that makes people cry was written for me. Like, it was written for me, so I have to just figure out when I'm gonna read it. Plus, I can't actually get the physical copies. Like, I can only find them on Amazon that is from the US, where I have to pay for shipping, taxes, which is a lot. Maybe someday I'll get to a point, not someday, this year, I'll save enough for it and be like, okay, fine, I'm getting you and only you for the next 2 months. And then from there, I'm going on a book buying ban, because the day I order from Amazon US will be the day I know that the next few months I need to be on a book buying ban. So yeah, wish me luck. Because I think everyone who's read the Lord series can't stop talking about it. Like, they can't shut up about it. And plus, it's one of the members in our book club. It's like, those are her favorite books. Like, the Lord series, she is obsessed with it. So I was like, okay, fine, let me get the hype. Let me read it for myself and understand what has her going crazy. Talking about obsession over books, the next series that has everybody going insane is the Legacy of Gods series. When I tell you, I think that is one of Book Talk's most loved dark romance series. One of. Only reason why I actually want to read those books is because of this book, actually. God of Fury by Rena Kent. Now, I only found out yesterday that this is actually book 5 in the series. So I have to read book 1 till 4 to finally get to the book I want. And I know that I can read it as a standalone, but at the same time, I feel like I'd be doing it an injustice if I read it as a standalone, even though it would probably be a 5-star read, infinity amount of star read, even if I read it as a standalone. But thus far I've read Monsters Trilogy by Rena Kent, adored the entire series. That whole series was a 5-star read for me, and because of that, because it was written by Rena Kent and this is another series by Rena Kent, I was like, you know what, I don't mind. I'll start with the first book, which is God of Malice, I believe. I'll start from there and work my way down. I don't mind, because I enjoyed the Monsters Trilogy so much. I hope she does not disappoint me with this one. And then I think that it's the last books. Okay, the last book that we're going to talk about is Lights Out by Nevesa Ellen. Sorry for butchering the name and surname. Now, everyone highly enjoyed this book. They talked about how it gave dark romance, but at the same time it was giving funny, it was giving relatable, it was giving I want this man. Like, it was dark, but also he was hilarious, which had people loving this book. So I need to know what that whole thing was about. Plus, it's this book and also the second book in the series, which is called Caught Up, that is coming out June 10th, that are added to my 25 books for 2025. So I think I want to read this book probably in June, when it's closer to like Up comes out. And yeah, those are my 25 books that I want to read for 2025. I don't know how many books there are in total, but let's go through the list one more time. The first book, The Sweetest Oblivion, Hunting Adeline, Where's Molly, The Darkness Between Us, Kill Switch, Phantasma, Quicksilver, From Blood and Ashes, The Serpent and Wings of Night, Noclicadia, Birds of a Feather, Babel, June 1st, Just for the Summer, Archer's Voice, Funny Story, Severed Hearts, The Torment Do It, Magnolia Parks, Phantom, Lord series, Legacy of Gods, Lights Out plus Caught Up, Long Shot, and Catch the Sun. Woo! So those are the 25 books I want to read in 2025. Hopefully I get through all of them, and I'll take you on a journey with me, because I will be doing a reading vlog of each and every one of these books and titling it 25 books I want to read in 2025. Anyways, thank you for staying till the very end of the video. See you next time. Mwah! Have a fantastic day.